So pretty much everybody's been asking about what's going on with the frequent fear passes.
What is that? Oh, someone smuggled this off planet.
A lot of people are upset. People don't want Nightmare Fuel to come back.
The sign we've been waiting for a long time.
Okay guys, we're back at Universal Studios Florida. It's time for another Halloween Horror Nights 2026 update. We got light updates, we got trust updates, we got to talk about my thoughts on Nightmare Fuel, and then also what could potentially be happening with some other stuff within the park. Hopefully we have some more props that have been added today. So on that note, it's time to talk about the Halloween Horror Nights shirt of the day. We got Bill and Ted. This is the shirt from HHN 2010, most bodacious dude. So on that note, let's roll a vintage little clip.
I'm actually involved in the overall thematic for the event. I actually help create fear. I'm a part of a larger team, and we're the show direction team here at Universal. My first gig at Horror Nights was actually in a house called Hotel Hell. I remember it was the coolest job ever. I loved it. I was inside a washing machine, and I popped out of a washing machine, and I loved it. I loved it. I was hooked. We wanted to create an event that we could look at and say, we are celebrating Universal's Halloween Horror Nights. And that was extremely important for us this year, and seeing it now come to fruition and it all kind of pulling together in these last few weeks before we open is really fulfilling. And I'm so looking forward to this year, as well as, you know, where this event's going to go.
Okay, welcome back. Let's head in. Yesterday there was a ton of stuff that happened. So I'm hoping the teams have added a lot overnight. I know you guys all want Bill and Ted to come back. It's never gonna come back. We might get some Easter eggs, but that's probably the most we'll ever get for Bill and Ted.
Nothing new with the truss right here when you're coming in, but we do have some additions to the truss you're gonna walk underneath. So I'm guessing they'll probably have the Halloween Horror Nights sign return right there. Will they have the correct colors? Last year was kind of a mess. Kept changing colors every couple days. All right, so we got wires and lights to go over. So first off, we got one light right there, kind of shining down right here when you're walking in. Then the other light right there is shining down right here. This one is also shining right there. So we might see some different imagery projected on the ground, just like a static image they can kind of put in. And these will kind of like spin around. Then also over here, we have 3 lights on this side. Again, the same light kind of pointed right there. So we might have a set piece up there, and then 2 lights over there kind of pointed at that area right there. So it looks like all the lights are being wired to this side, to the left side. So there, you can see all the wires running along the truss at the top. Then we can see it running down the truss, and the cords are just waiting there to be plugged in. And kind of the same thing on this side. They're still waiting to be plugged in, but it's going all the way up the truss, connecting to those lights right there. So before you know it, these cords will be plugged in, and they'll be running the wires probably this way. Oh, we got a set piece down there. Look at it. Before we go see the new set piece, we got to pop into the Brown Derby, see if there's any new discounted merchandise. We got some old Popeye artwork posters. Looks like they've gotten the one-piece tank top. We got a Fast and Furious shirt, Live Fast, Drive Furious, Los Angeles. Kind of honestly pretty hard to do that with all the terrible traffic, but we do have the Shrek Holiday Spirit jersey. It'll say Shrek with all the characters.
This is a good set piece. The paint job looks good. Okay, they got some callbacks here. All right, let's show it off first, and then I'll show you the callbacks to what this kind of represents.
So it's made almost to look like a water tower. We can see kind of the base of the water tower, and then there's kind of the water tower up there. That's how it kind of looks. But you have this hand that's pointing that way. On the bottom, they have the distressed striping for like the circus tent. You have the checker design. They added like little rust around the bolts. They've added like some mud and dirt on the metal. And even here, they did a great job with the distressing, the dirty wash on everything to kind of make it look all moldy and mildewy. But I like that they used a variety of different colors and textures, because when you do that, it makes it feel more realistic. When you just do one same color or one same texture, kind of boring. In the real world, right, there's so many different textures and colors and distressing that actually happens. So when you start decorating stuff like this, the human eye connects with it more. You got an arrow pointed up this way. Again, they kind of added as if there was like some rust forming around there where the light bulbs used to plug in. The sign we've been waiting for a long time. Pardon our desk, we are in the process of transforming our park for Universal Orlando's Halloween Horror Nights, the world's premier Halloween event. Then on this side, again, some different textures, some different style of painting on the wood. And they've added some more distressing with kind of rust and grime going up the metal. I like the texturing with this paint right here, that it all has kind of this like really kind of gross drippage happening with all the paint at the top. And then we got this clown's face looking at you. right, so let's do the rundown of kind of the mini Easter eggs hidden within it.
So let's break down the design of this set piece. So the main details are honestly the eyes. So to the left, we're gonna have kind of a green eye, which kind of represents Eddie. So it looks like we might see Eddie popping up this year for HHN. And then also to the right, we're gonna see what looks to be Chance's eye, kind of the red cross design. So I'm guessing Chance will also be returning this year. And then we come down to the nose, which is very representative of Jack the Clown's nose. So it looks like Eddie, Chance, and Jack will probably be appearing within the scare zones. And then we have the blue mouth, which kind of represents kind of the brim of the hat with Oddfellow and kind of his bluish coat design for this year. So I'm guessing Oddfellow will also be appearing in the scare zones. Now, when you look up at the ears, it kind of looks like Hidden Mickey ears. There's 2 saw blades. That's very representative of the HHN 25 design, where there was kind of 2 saw blades on each side of the logos with kind of Jack in the center.
Now on this side, there's no decoration or painting on the other hand. I'm wondering if there's gonna be something gonna be placed right here because the finger's pointing that way. Nothing new with this truss with the lights, and then nothing new with this truss. But I'm guessing we're gonna see more set dressing, more little mini stages popping up in this scare zone. You might see some classic characters pop up who we've not seen in a hot minute. Inside Five and Dime, we got a new little piece of merch. What did they do to Creature? All right, so it's like a Little People kids playset. Creature looks more like the Swamp Thing than the creature from the Black Lagoon. We got little Count Dracula, we got Frankenstein's monster, and then the Bride. So $35 they have this new little set. But that just does not look good with Creature. Why'd they do my boy so dirty? Over by Mel's, we got the lights all the way at the top. It also looks like it's corded up, so we got the lights that'll be kind of shining down right here and then also right there on Mel's. But we do have some cords that have been attached because we can see the little rope that they used. So the cord is going all the way up to the lights up there, but it has not been plugged in. Now there's a box that's normally, right over there. So it has not been electrified yet. There's no cords running into the base of it. So we also had the 3 lights put up there, which will shine down here, but they have been corded up. They've been connected to the electricity gods. It's running down the pole and going over here so no one trips. Probably the weakest cord following update, but it just goes right into the box right there. So probably we'll see this one also connected to the box right here, but that's what these cords are connected to. They're connected to the lights all the way up there. Again, into the land of truss and lights. See what's been added since yesterday. Now we got some more LED strips. So I'm guessing on each tree, we're gonna see LED strips popping up. So they're all labeled. That one says street side, but they're not plugged in. So we have one going up the tree, all the way up there. I see another one over here. And then on this side, there's another one that goes all the way up the branch, all the way up there. But it's weird because the other trees have 3 to 4 LED strips on it. This one only has 2, so maybe they're just not done yet and they're gonna add more. You can see some new cords and electrical coming out of the truss over there. See, there's a little bit of plastic wrapping over it to protect it from the elements.
But I'm sure all the LED strips are all gonna be kind of in sync, and it's gonna be really fogged up in here.
So we can see they've also been kind of wrapping up the cords over there. All right, so right now with the LED strips, this tree has LED strips, this tree has LED strips, this tree has LED strips, that tree has LED strips, and then this tree has LED strips. And then nothing really new with any of these lights or truss. I'm gonna pop into the SpongeBob store pants. $25, they have a new little kid shirt, SpongeBob. He's looking at his love, Patrick in his sunglasses. $65, we have kind of a Krabby Patty backpack. You can see Patrick right there. It says Krabby Patty back there, SpongeBob's there. They have Krabby Patties all along the bag. $23, they have Pirate Banana Rum candles. $45, you got a little crossbody water bottle holder. You got little Gary. You got little Gary right there with SpongeBob riding his jellyfish. $30, you got the SpongeBob wallet. $27, we got a new short sleeve shirt. Greetings from Bikini Bottom. Wish you were here. And we got SpongeBob make a little sand castle of his pineapple house. All right, nothing's been electrified with this truss and lights. Back to the land of truss and sprung tents. Not seeing anything happening with the truss. Now they moved the truss that was in the center yesterday. So no facade work yet. I don't see the teams even here today, but eventually we'll get stuff happening outside.
All right, so we're over by Nightmare Fuel. A lot of people are upset. People don't want Nightmare Fuel to come back. I'm not the biggest fan of Nightmare Fuel. I think the Fuel Girls are honestly like the best part of Nightmare Fuel, but I think they're on tour right now, so I don't know if they're gonna be part of Nightmare Fuel. It just might be the same name with a lot of the same dancers. So I think the show is gonna be interesting and intriguing. It's gonna feel different compared to the last years where it's just kind of felt like the circus over and over and over and over again. The thing is, Nightmare Fuel, packed house, every single showing. Nightmare Fuel has its own subculture where people will come in and they will go to every single show. They're obsessed with Nightmare Fuel. So it's a people eater, people love it. Some people don't even go to the haunted houses. They just get food, get drinks, and go to Nightmare Fuel. It's like, again, a subculture within HHN. I'm not the biggest fan of Nightmare Fuel, but I can appreciate it, and I love that people love something at Halloween Horror Nights. A lot of the rumors were kind of talking about this potentially being like an icon show. There's still rumors about an icon show thing happening. What does that mean? Could they be building another stage like how they did back in the day when Jack was out there on a massive stage? Could that be happening? Well, we'll see if a stage pops up. I think the best case scenario, is we have a massive 30-foot long stage in New York. I feel like a icon stage show could be popping up there. I think that's kind of where maybe some of the miscommunication could have been happening. People were just hearing kind of like an icon stage show, but not the size of the stage. So I think that's where people kind of got confused on where stuff is actually gonna be. Again, this is all one game of telephone. So I feel like there's still a chance for some sort of icon stage experience or show, potentially in New York, maybe someplace else. But I still think there's hope if you're an HHN icon fan. There's gonna be HHN icons throughout the park. Some characters we haven't seen in a while will be popping up. So there's gonna be plenty of representation for the classic Halloween Horror Nights fans.
And then nothing happening with the cords over by the Nightmare Fuel Showtime sign. What is that? Oh, someone smuggled this off planet, off the green planet. They're smuggling mushrooms here in the park. Not seeing too much happening with Club Gourd. No movement, no new lights, no new decorations. Time to pop into the AC, into the candy factory. The Jaws Sipper has returned. $25 for the 50th anniversary Jaws Sipper. I thought this was one of the best sippers ever designed. Now, it had the anniversary year on it last year, but it's taken off. So that's the only difference. But it's the same sipper from last year. This comes undone. Great design. We haven't had a really good popcorn bucket yet this year. So you can see the lights that illuminate inside the tent now for when it gets dark. But I'm really hoping they put a design over it to blend in with the scare zone. This is where I think potentially we could see some sort of show, because it's a large stage compared to what we have seen here before. It's multi-level. They could put a lot of set pieces on it. I think this is where it might end up. We'll see. We'll see if another stage pops up anywhere else.
There's a ton of stuff that's happening for Midsummer Scream. First off, let's go over some Murdy updates.
There's John Murdy right there. John!
So John tweeted out this: looks like I'm gonna be spending all day at Midsummer Scream on Sunday, August 9th. HHN panel is in its traditional slot, 5 p.m., but I've got other commitments much earlier in the day. You won't want to miss out on hint, hint, details to come. But plan to get there early. So John kind of always does kind of an autograph signing every morning on that Sunday. So I'm guessing that's what he's kind of hinting at, but he'll reveal more details down the road. So then someone asks, are those commitments related to this year's event? John says, yes. Then someone says, dude, August 9th is actually my birthday. This would be really cool. On a scale from 1 to 10, how excited are the announcements going to be? And is this only for Hollywood HHN? John says, yes, only for Hollywood, and pretty cool stuff to share that John will talk about at the panel. Mr. Murdy, will the Mummy Q facade construction be halted until the house is announced, as well as the other H-lot houses, as there has been no big progress on details and whatnot? John says, no, they finished the construction and then started the scenic from the back to the front. You wouldn't know what it is from the facade. Please give us a hint. It's not going to help you figure out what it is. The idea came to me driving into the event last year when I was going to be meeting with some people about this. Then someone says, John, any chances these weirdos come back this year? Someone says, these are not weirdos. They are awesome props. John says, they're awesome weirdos. So then we're going to have kind of a big activation happening for Midsummer Scream. So there's officially going to be 2 IPs at Midsummer Scream's kind of haunted house experiences. Universal Horror Unleashed is bringing the heat from Las Vegas with a terrifying character encounter that marks the attraction's blood-soaked debut at Midsummer Scream. Guests will get up close and personal with some of the attraction's most infamous icons. So I'm guessing maybe Jack and Chance might appear for kind of a meet and greet in the area. I'm sure there's gonna be kind of a themed backdrop, but that's cool that they're gonna be coming and kind of connecting with the West Coast audience. But then also Lionsgate Entertainment will be returning this year for their 3rd year with an all-new walkthrough attraction, inviting guests deep into the woods where they'll come face to face with an ancient evil. So there's gonna be 2 IPs popping up. But also speaking about Midsummer Scream, they're gonna be having a panel, The Terror in the Desert, Haunted Attractions of Las Vegas. And Kim Scott will be there talking at the panel. She's the senior director and general manager of Universal Horror Unleashed in Las Vegas. So she'll kind of talk about what it's like in the haunt world in Vegas. So I'm kind of glad that Horror Unleashed is having a presence at Midsummer Scream to kind of connect with a new fan base. So my favorite conventions in the entire world. The West Coast haunt community is drastically different than the East Coast haunt community. The SoCal haunt vibe is totally different. So I love seeing all my friends out there, seeing what's going on. It's just a totally different vibe. The haunted houses are amazing. Every single booth there has good quality spooky stuff. The panels are great. The celebrities that they have there are top notch. It's just so much fun. So I cannot wait. Like we are like a month away now for Midsummer Scream.
Some lights have appeared on the truss over here by the Creepy Concoctions. So we saw the truss up here, but now we have 2 lights on top, kind of shining right here. This is normally where they have a food booth, so that's probably where it's angled at. All right, looks like the cords have been run all the way down the truss, just nothing has been plugged in. We can see them kind of a little bit through the scrim, just waiting there to be plugged in.
So also, Reckless Ben, he has his part 3 out for the Lego saga. It's even more crazy, more corruption, more lies, more conspiracies. It's insane how this thing has evolved and ballooned into something so big and so disgusting and so corrupt. So if you have not seen the Lego Bricks and Minifigs Reckless Ben series, again, watch it. It's pure insanity.
We have a new track piece over there. So we have track going that way, but then this piece has been installed, so we'll see it installed that way. Then it'll go all the way over there, up the spike and everything, and then come back. Exciting times. They're working non-stop to get this coaster ready. Nothing new with the truss over here. Again, this is probably where the wait time and directional TV signs will be. $25. We got a little Gomi, looks like shoulder plush. It's kind of like a harder material, not like a soft squishy material. It's like a hardcore plastic figure. So it looks like there's a magnet that goes right underneath your shirt.
Let's go back to the office, getting toasty out. We got some more HHN stuff to go over. Okay guys, we're back in the office. So pretty much everybody's been asking about what's going on with the frequent fear passes. They have not dropped yet. So it's heavily rumored for them to be dropping kind of later rather than sooner in the month of July. So they're rumored to drop in the month of July, not August. There is the frequent fear passes available for Hollywood, but the Orlando ones have not dropped yet. Now there's also another rumor going on that potentially there might not be express attached to this year's frequent fear passes. But we'll just have to wait and see. So when you guys are watching this, I'll be at Universal filming the next Halloween Horror Nights update, covering all the different details that have appeared overnight. And then I'm gonna take kind of the weekend off. I need to kind of like recharge. So guys, on that note, if you enjoyed this video, make sure to hit that like button. If you have not already, hit the subscribe button and join the family.
Love the family.
Because I'm gonna keep you up to date on all things Halloween Horror Nights and Universal Studios around the country. I love you all. I'll see y'all very soon.
And then nothing happening with the cords.
Hey, no, 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 hey, no.
They're smuggling Pooterade here in the park.